Welcome to this session again. We would be solving the last 15 questions for the CBSE NET Psychology paper June 2015 paper 3. Now the first question talks about the various terminologies related to existential psychology. As we can see, there were a lot of questions on existential psychology in paper 3 this time. Now this question you have to directly match the definition with the terminology. So the correct answer here is 3. So you have Mitwelt is an experience and meaning we share with others through our relationship. So you can learn it by meet, the word meet. So you are sharing your relationship with others. Now the next is Dasein. Dasein means you are a person if existing in a particular place at a particular time is has a consciousness of it. Okay, so that is Dasein. Then you have Unwelt. So Unwelt is the biological and the natural environment of a human being. So when we are talking with the word unwelt, that means which is in reality what in reality exists. So it's something that is biological or environmental in nature. And finally you have Eigenwelt, that means a unique presence of human beings of self-awareness and self-relatedness. So 3 would be the correct option here. Next question, intelligence is necessary but not sufficient condition for creativity. Now to relate intelligence and creativity, there had been 3 famous theories. The first is the threshold theory. The next is the interference theory. And the last is the certification theory. According to threshold theory, intelligence is necessary but not sufficient condition for creativity. So here the answer is threshold theory. Interference theory says that extreme intelligence might inhibit creativity, and certification theory says creativity is not intrinsically related to intelligence. So creativity is not intrinsically related to intelligence. So these are the 3 basic theories which talk about intelligence and creativity. Next question. In which of the following disorders person has 2 or more different personalities and either of which is dominant at a time? So dissociative identity disorder, which is also known as multiple personality disorder or split personality, is a kind of disorder where a person has 2 or more kind of personalities. At a time, the person depicts one personality and he completely forgets or he does not remember anything about his previous personality. So that is known as dissociative identity disorder. It was previously known as a split personality. Now since here both of them are given as choice, so either it should be again considered as a bonus question, or if you consider the most modern name for this disorder, it is dissociative identity disorder. Previously it was known as multiple personality disorder, and further previously it was known as split personality disorder. Next question, which is not true about the facial feedback hypothesis of emotion? Facial feedback hypothesis of emotion means if you are into a public place, you are not willing to attend that function or ceremony, still you want to attend and you have an artificial smile on your face, then when you are attending the function, you will feel happiness within yourself. So that is what is facial feedback hypothesis of emotions. Your facial feedback, your facial expressions lead to emotions. So acting is another acts will help you feel what another feels. So if everyone is happy and I am happy, I would feel that I am happy. Everyone is happy and I am smiling, then I would feel that I am also happy. So this is straightforwardly incorrect because it is contrast to what is the definition of facial feedback hypothesis of emotions. So this is incorrect. So answer here is in any case 1. Let's go through the remaining sentences however. Facial expression influence our emotional experience, that's correct. To be empathetic, mimic others' emotional expressions. So if I am trying to feel the pain of someone, I would try to mimic that, and that's again correct. And then you try to express a specific autonomic changes when you have facial expression. So that's again correct. Next question, which of the following is not a characteristic of narcolepsy? Narcolepsy is a disorder, is a kind of sleep disorder I should say, where you try to fall asleep in any situation where you consider yourself to be relaxed. So nocturnal, myoclosure, sleep paralysis, hypnogonic hallucinations and cataplexy are the choices. Now let's understand what is hypnogonic hallucination. Hypnogonic means at the time of onset of sleep. Okay, you have sleep paralysis, that is again correct, and you have cataplexy, that is again correct. So that is what is we define narcolepsy. Now in this question you have 25 subjects who perform the same task under 3 conditions: relaxed, moderately stressed and highly stressed. So what would be the degree of freedom for this ANOVA case, where you are doing a degree of freedom for conditions with respect to subjects? So it would be conditions minus 1 and subjects minus 1. So conditions is 3 minus 1 and subjects are 25 minus 1. So that's 2 into 24. So the answer here would be 48. So the degree of freedom in this case would be 48. Hackman and Oldham gave a model for work motivation. And what was the model? According to Hackman and Oldham model, the only thing that promotes a worker's motivation is task. If the task is challenging, the person would be highly involved in that task. If it is not, the person won't be interested in that task. So what is important is task. So variety of skills, you have autonomy, these are all the part of this, and also the task, as I said. So the only incorrect choice here is the quality of job life. So according to him, all 3 of these would be significant. Next, this is a kind of repeat question that has already been asked in paper 2. So we need to follow the correct sequence for the creative thinking. So as we said previously, it's preparation, incubation, illumination and verification. We'll start with orientation. So the correct answer here would be 3. Next, which of the following is not correct about the Piaget's theory? So Piaget's theory, what is important is, you are trying to understand that the later stages evolve from the previous stages. Okay. So fourth, which says later stages are independent of the earlier stages, is incorrect. So he talked about the pre-operational, operational, conventional stages, and there he said that every stage evolves from the next successive stage. So that is what is very important. Okay. So fourth would be the incorrect answer here. Now this is, you are trying to match the columns with the terms. So knowing one's emotion means monitoring feelings from moment to moment, that's correct. Motivating oneself means marshalling emotions in the service of goals. Then you have managing emotion means handling or feeling emotions so that they are appropriate, and handling relationship means you are trying to have skills in managing emotions of the others. Now all these 4 were given by Goleman in his model for emotional intelligence. So all these 4 terms are part of emotional intelligence model given by Goleman. Now there are the next set of 5 questions are based on this passage. This passage is about attitude scales, the various kind of attitude scales that we often use. Now this passage does not provide you an answer for any of the questions. This is just an introduction to give you a mental picture from which section the questions have been asked. Now the first question, if 11 attitude statements are to be scaled by the method of paired comparison, what would be the number of pairs? So the number of pairs is n minus 1 by 2. So it's 11 by into 10 by 2, that's 55. So the correct answer here would be 55. Next question. In which of the scaling method item remainder correlations are frequently calculated? Item remainder correlation means you have an item and you are relating it to all other items before it as well as after it. So item and its whole remainder or the whole set of items which are left, you are trying to relate those, and that happens only in the case of summated rating. So summated rating is the correct answer. In case of equal appearing intervals, you have median and interquartile range, that's Q3 minus Q1. And in case of paired comparison, you take standard deviation and mean. And in case of successive intervals, you can take median for item selection. So this way we can understand the answer would be 4. Next question. In the method of equal appearing intervals, median is used as a measure of scale value that we have already talked about in the previous question. So that's correct. In normal distribution, mean, median and mode are equal. So that's again correct. So both the statements are correct, but this does not explain the first statement. So I can say 2 is correct. That's both the statements are incorrect, independently correct, but reason does not explain the assertion. Next question. Which of the following technique usually yields a multidimensional attitude scale? Now the scales which are unidimensional in nature, the unidimensional scales classically are ordered scales or have ordered categories, like ranking scales, you have Likert scale, summated rating, equal appearing scales. So all these are kind of unidimensional scale. The only multidimensional scale in this case is paired comparison. Since you are doing a comparison of pairs, this is a multidimensional scale. So the correct answer here would be 2. Next question. Which of the following techniques is well known for being associated with the cumulative scales? Now let's understand what is cumulative scale. Under cumulative scale, I am understanding the agreement of one term or one statement with all its preceding or previous statements. Just the preceding statements or the previous statements, and that is what is cumulative scale. Now a classic example of cumulative scale is Guttman scale, and among these Bogarde's social distance scale is a scale that is based on Guttman's scale. So we are talking about Guttman's scale, not Guttman's scaleogram analysis. So here is what is given to confuse the students. So C is not a choice. I am saying Guttman scale, not the Guttman scaleogram analysis. Okay. So Guttman scale, one of the classic example is Bogarde's social distance scale, and in this scale he tried to measure people's willingness to participate in kind of social contacts with the various diversity among the social groups or the ethnic groups. So that was the aim of this Bogarde's social distance scale. With this we cover the complete paper on psychology for NET examination. You can subscribe to ExamRace channel for further lectures on psychology. Wish you a good day ahead.